When I was 6, I prayed for my mother to stop crying. Her sobs rattled through the walls each night, her body curled into the couch, empty bottles rolling across the floor. I clasped my hands and whispered into the dark, asking God to make her better, to take away the sadness that made her a ghost in her own home. She never got better. When I was 12, I prayed for my father to come back. At dinner, I told my mother I had won a school competition. She nodded without looking up. "That's nice, sweetheart." I glanced at the empty chair where he used to sit, aching to hear, "Well done, son. I'm proud of you." That night, I asked for a sign that he still thought of us, that we weren't just a past life he had erased. The chair stayed empty. When I was 17, I prayed for strength. The kids at school left bruises where they thought no one would see. I never hit back. I never let them turn me cruel. I told myself it was a test, that God was watching, that kindness meant something even when it hurt. The bruises faded. The loneliness never did. When I was 32, I stopped praying for myself. Instead, I prayed for others, for the old man sleeping outside my apartment, for the children in the hospital whose bodies failed them before they had a chance to live, for the friend who fought his demons alone and lost. The world never changed, but I still believed. Even when I was old, even when sickness ate away at me, even when I took my final breath, I opened my eyes to find myself standing before the gates of heaven, except the golden arch stood twisted and rusted, barely clinging to its hinges. The pearl-adorned walls, once radiant with divine light, were cracked and overgrown with vines, abandoned for centuries. Beyond the gates, heaven stretched before me, its faded gold tarnished, its streets empty beneath sagging clouds. The bodies of angels littered the ground, their wings torn and burned. Shattered halos lay half-buried like discarded crowns. No voices, no songs, no warmth, only silence. At the heart of heaven, the throne stood empty, its seats split apart, as if whatever had once sat there had left a long, long time ago. I stood in the ruins of the kingdom I had spent my entire life believing in, a place I had prayed to, cried for, held on to when everything else had failed. It was then I realized why, in life, my prayers were never answered. There was no longer anyone here to hear them.